Lord, we come before you this afternoon heavy. None of us would have chosen the circumstances that have brought us here today.
Rittman is a small town with a big heart, and we are heartbroken, but we are not broken.
How do we distill all that Scott had done in a couple remarks? And how do we recognize the impact that this man had on each life that he touched?
Rittman Strong is Rittman Strong. We always say our motto is a small town with a big heart, and it shows.
Today, the town of Rittman said goodbye to Police Sergeant Scott Ries, laid to rest 5 days after he was killed in the line of duty.
Outside the Rittman Police Station tonight, a growing memorial of flowers, flags, and cards honoring a sergeant who gave years to the force.
A funeral in Wadsworth this afternoon, then a procession to the sergeant's final resting place. Officers and neighbors standing shoulder to shoulder along the way. And good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Russ Mitchell.
And I'm Sia New Yorker. Tonight, our Lindsay Buckingham has the emotional scenes from the funeral as family, friends, and fellow officers gather to say goodbye.
This is what it looks like when a community loses a hero. Hundreds packed inside Northside Christian Church to honor the life, service, and sacrifice of Rittman Police Sgt. Scott Ries. There's nothing easy about escorting your brother on his final ride.
There are many who are broken.
Yet shoulder to shoulder, they did. Sergeant Ries spent nearly 3 decades wearing a badge, serving, protecting, showing up every day for the people, only part of what made him exceptional.
He was a protector. He was a provider. He was a servant who put the needs of others ahead of the needs of himself. And it cost him everything. It cost you everything.
To those who knew him best, he was a great friend, loving husband to Michelle, devoted father to daughters Abby and Maddie.
More than anything, he was a dad. When I talked with his wife, Michelle, and with the girls, that's what came first. Girl dad. He loved it.
His heart, as big as his presence.
And people who didn't know him will admit now that he could be intimidating clear across the room. But everyone who actually knew him tells the same story with a laugh. Underneath all that size was a teddy bear.
When it mattered most, Sergeant Scott Ries gave his life the same way he lived it, putting others first.
And when we lose someone like that, the question turns to us. What do we do now? Here's what we do. We pick up where he carried. It's not the badge, but the love. That's how Scott keeps protecting us. Through every one of us who chooses to live the way he lived.
Sergeant Ries, your mission is complete. Your brothers and sisters now have the watch. May you rest in eternal peace. 384, you're 37 for the final time. We've got it from here.
Lindsay Buckingham, 3 News.
Sergeant Ries was laid to rest at Rittman Cemetery, and even strangers showed up to pay their respects. More than 1,000 people traveled from near and far to say farewell to Sergeant Scott Ries, lining the streets to pay their respects. With police from all over Ohio showing up to salute the man who paid the ultimate sacrifice. Some people, like Bill Knopfsinger, had been friends with Ries for about 3 decades.
I actually went out fishing with him last Monday. And this past Monday, I was expecting a phone call saying, hey, we're going to go out this Wednesday. Not expecting the news that he was shot and killed.
And others, like this family, turned out to show their support for all law enforcement.
My stepdad's a police officer as well, so I feel like connected to it in that way, you know, as a law enforcement family. You can just feel the sense of family, even if we all don't know each other super personally. It's like one big family in the community.
And those who knew him well say the outpouring of support showed just how many people he touched, even beyond the badge.
He had so many plans and for his life to be taken in this quick, it's unbelievable.
We also want to remind you when loved ones and family will gather to remember the beloved mother and daughter also killed in the shootings. Calling hours for Christine and McKinley McWilliams will be held tomorrow from 4 to 7 p.m. at Rittman United Methodist Church. A celebration of life will follow at 7 at the church. Both will be laid to rest at Rittman Cemetery.
The Rittman community is coming together to help the families of those lost in Sunday's deadly shooting. Now, a community cookout fundraiser is happening this Sunday from 2 to 5 on North Main Street in Rittman. There will be food, baked goods, desserts, drinks, and raffles. A food truck fundraiser is also set for Monday from 11 a.m. to 6 at the Fritz Memorial Park with dozens of food trucks, prayer, and more. Now, all proceeds will go to the families of Sergeant Scott Ries, Christine McWilliams, and McKinley McWilliams.